Hi, this is Father Jonathan Meyer, and welcome to Alive, where we delve deep into the upcoming Sunday reading. This upcoming Sunday is the fourth Sunday of Advent, the last week of Advent, and our gospel passage is Luke chapter 1, verse 26 through 38. Luke chapter 1, verse 26 through 38. Now hold up, for those of you who went to Mass on the Immaculate Conception, you might be like, Father, that was the same reading then. Well, you're totally right. We are reading the exact same gospel passage that we read on the Immaculate Conception just a few days prior. Luke chapter 1, 26 through 38. This is the story of the Annunciation. We're very familiar with this story from the first joyful mystery of the Rosary. I want to delve into a part of this passage that we probably don't often give a lot of credence to or a lot of emphasis on, and that's the role of Elizabeth being a sign and a confirmation that God has worked this mighty deed in Mary's life. Have you ever asked the question, like, why does God do that? I mean, we knew that, like, John the Baptist had to be born, and he's born from Elizabeth, who was older in years, advanced in years. But I think there's also like a really great lesson for us in this, particularly for you who are young. God uses in the life of young people, those who are older, those who are learned, those who are wiser, those who are aged, as signs, as confirmations, to give witness and to give testimony, even in the life of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Like, dear young people, wake up and listen to your elders. Wake up and recognize that, like, those around you, particularly those who might be older than you, have great things to share and to witness to you. And for those of us who are older, I'm 44, so I can consider myself like, I can't consider myself like 20 anymore. I'm like 44. But like, do we recognize the role that we have? Do you recognize the role you have in your children, in your grandchildren, in your children's friends, in your grandchildren's friends? Do you realize the absolute impact that you make when you go up to a young person in your parish that's an altar server or that just read or cantored at Mass and you affirm them? Do you realize the emphasis that a letter can make, put in the mail and sent to a young person, encouraging them in the faith? I was in a conversation the other day with a group of youth ministers, and like, youth ministers struggle. Like, they get hired by churches, or they serve as a volunteer, and like, they have all these great desires, and they want young people to be at their youth ministry programs, but then no one shows up. Who gets young people to show up at youth events? You and me. Me and you. Because we look at our grandchildren, our godchildren, and we say, you're going, I don't care if you want to go or not. Because every young person that goes to a young youth event always has a great time. And every young person that doesn't go to a youth event doesn't encounter the Lord. How powerful it is that even at the Annunciation, God includes this understanding of a mentor, a guide, a witness, a testimony in the life of someone older than Mary. Let's not forget that in our own lives, how that worked in our own lives. Because it worked for me. I can tell you, I can give you a list of people when I was younger that affected my life. So let's receive it, but then also let's give it. Let's look at some questions for this upcoming week. What's the message? What's the basic story of Luke chapter 1, 26 through 38? What's the good news in this passage? What verse, image, or message spoke to you? Why does the angel say, do not be afraid? What does the phrase full of grace mean? Why is Elizabeth brought up in this passage? Can you name a time when it was hard for you to say yes to God? What's your relationship like with Mary? Is it close, distant, and why? What is it like for you to see yourself as a dwelling place of God? Excuse me. Is it true that nothing is impossible for God? Mary says, may it be done to me according to your word. What does that mean? What might be one way that you can act on this reading before Christmas? I hope you liked today's reflection. If you did, please subscribe down below, and please check out these other videos that we got going on right here so that we can help you here at All Saints to become the saint that God is calling you to be. Amen.